purpose of this call, I suppose, is to dispel some of the myths of being online. And there's a lot of people who go to look at online businesses who are just sort of a bit spooky. They want to have a go at it. And I had a conversation with a bloke early this morning over in Canada, and he wants to have a go at the business, but he's just a little bit scared about all the rumours. So the purpose of what we're trying to do for this weekly call is to just let people see us as we are, and
Sure.
and not put any there's no real spin on the whole thing. It's just about to say, why have you joined a home business? What's got you coming here? And just basically tell them a little bit about it ourselves. So because Lynn, you're an old hand, we'll start with you just to throw you in the thing. What had you start here? Why did you want to start an online business?
Well, I was looking, my husband and I have been in a traditional business for 35 years plus. So I was really looking for something that I could do for myself and take into our retirement, because I knew we would still be working. And I did love working anyway, but I wanted to be on my own terms. So we could still do the travel and all the retirement-y things that people do, but I still wanted to work and earn an income.
Okay, and whereabouts are you working from now?
Well, originally from New Zealand, we, you know, the land of the white cloud there, Pete, and a fantastic rugby team. I have to just throw that one in. But we shifted here to Perth in Western Australia 40 years ago, actually. So probably a little bit more Australian than I am Kiwi now.
So does that mean you're going to wear a gold jersey soon?
Never, darling.
Not after they played on the weekend. I'm beginning to think my jersey should be green. Oh, that was a shocker. Anyway, we'll leave that.
Yeah. So we live in Perth in Western Australia and absolutely loving it.
Okay, Anthony, you're the new kid on the block, and another Kiwi. I seem to have a lot of Kiwis in my team. We're going to have to change the name from. I don't know, there's more Kiwis in the side than there is. Maybe we should run a rugby side, and we might even beat it. Yeah. So tell us about you. What's your story? Why are you here?
Well, I'm a young mum of two, and I have tried and dabbled in different things in my life and succeeded in different things. I'm ex-military, retired from the Navy, and then I went back to uni again, and I did a 3-year Bachelor of Health Science degree in radiography. So I've been doing that for 9 years. And I guess I think it's run its course. And so for me, I was looking to spend more time with my family. That was probably the one thing that I want to do with my life for the rest of my life. Eventually my kids will move out, which would be great. But at the moment I have a little 5-year-old that just really, I just want to spend so much time with her. And my 12-year-old, well, he's emotionally draining, but he probably needs me more than he thinks he does. So this is me wanting to try and really, really strive to get that dream of mine to stay home and spend more time with my family. And my husband needs me too.
Yeah, make sure you put Mike in there. He might feel left out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, for me, it was more about, it was the future of business, because I come from a business background anyway, and we've been in rural industry for all my life, and we were watching the farm sort of drain away, wondering if there was any reason to own it. And then we decided, I went shearing for a lot of years, and realised that you could make more shearing sheep than you could actually running a farm. And I thought, well, how crazy is this? There has to be a way to work out how to make the farm more profitable. So we literally went looking for online ideas, and we converted everything that we learned online to offline, to where the properties that we have now are all worked online. It's using the same business principle as we use here in this business. And we realised that the future of business was online, so that's why I came looking, because we couldn't keep doing things the old school way, because there just wasn't enough money to run a 180,000 acre place with no rain. So we decided to look at just different options to say, well, okay, let's throw it out there. And people thought we were absolutely nuts, especially when I moved away from out west and came to Townsville. They said, well, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I don't know yet. We'll work on that when we get there. So it really became a necessity for us to learn how the hell we're going to use online and convert it into everything. And it just so happens we found a personal development business that had the right business model, and I've really stolen everything of Shane and Rachel's and shoved it into mine. And we've turned the whole lot around to where the properties were all owned, and they've sort of been around for 30 odd years. And there's been this long debt where now there's no debt. And it really wasn't through hard work, it was through a different way of learning. So that's the reason I came online. But the most unlikely match was I was always called Captain Cranky in the shearing sheds, because it was just not a happy place. And I had some fellas turn up this weekend who I'd shorn with for years, and they said, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
So, the program has sort of been a fit that I didn't know was going to be a fit. So that's, and I just live the program more than anything now. I just enjoy it.
Sure.
Every day I do it. So, okay, Now here's the tricky part of the conversation, where you've got to get really honest. And what I've got 10 questions for you. Okay? Just hang on a sec, I've got everything falling down. Okay, now these are going to be interesting questions. We'll start with Lynn, so then, because Lynn's been here a while, she's probably answered a lot of these anyway. What are your 3 biggest fears of starting this business? What are the 3 things you had to confront, Lynn?
Well, definitely fear of failure, because I'd been in our traditional business for so long. I was really in my comfort zone. So coming out of that comfort zone and wondering whether I could be successful on my own, which was what I really did want. And I think probably, and that self-doubt, that was a big thing. Could I do it? Was it going to work? But I just really wanted it. I wanted to get out of the traditional business that we were in. I hated the industry. So I had to stand up on my own. As I said, I really wanted to do that and be successful in my own right. So I think, fear of failure and self-doubt.
Okay. I'll run through all of them and then I'll move on to Anthea. So what was the biggest rumour that you had to overcome about being online?
That is so easy. It was other people's opinions of, what I was doing. I stopped talking about what I was doing because people always had quite a negative conversation around it. Even when they didn't know what it was about, they had no information on it at all. They had just made that assumption that, all online businesses were no good. So, that would be.
Okay.
That would be the one.
So, what is your core message that you want people to hear about your business?
About the business?
Yeah.
Look, it really does work. And I just love the personal development side of it because I've always been interested in how, what really makes us tick as human beings. So it does work. We're in amongst a fabulous community of really positive people, and that was the other thing too. My industry was very negative, so it was really great to be able to work amongst other like-minded people.
Okay, that's good. And you've sort of answered the next one for me, so I won't ask that one now. That was why you went into the personal development industry, but you've sort of answered it. So what do you reckon your biggest paradigm shift has been since you started here?
Look, really being, understanding that I was really in control. I think that was a huge shift for me, that I was in control and I was responsible for what happened in my life. And that meant that there was nothing from my outside world was interfering. It was more of a mirror image of what was going on. So really knowing that I was, it was up to me. It was meant to be, it was up to me, and I was in total control.
I love that. I love that. That's great.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's one of the power plays of this business where you can take everything in and say, well, no, I'm going to make it work, bugger you. I don't really care what the problem is, but that's a good
Sure.
Yeah. So, Lynn, obviously you're pretty special. So what's the secret sauce?
The secret sauce. Yeah, that's, I laugh when people ask me that. There's absolutely no secret sauce. It's all about knowing what you want and then just making an action plan and going for it. That's all it is in any kind of business, I think. You just put that, make a plan and work to the plan.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And your biggest learning curve, what do you reckon the biggest learning curve you've had?
The biggest learning curve, I think hoping that hoping that everything would just fall into place, you know, that I would be able to wish everything to be how I wanted it to be. That didn't work, Pete. It really stumped me.
Yeah.
I didn't see why I couldn't lie on the couch and have a dream and it was just going to manifest itself in my lounge room. But I think you just have to take that action and move towards whatever you want. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest mistakes of online is they go, good, I'm online, I've got all this time. Then 3 months down, they go, hey, this doesn't work, I haven't done anything. How come nothing's coming in?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's one of the reasons that people sort of get a bit stuck. They go, good, I don't have to go to the blast, I don't have to get in the car. Then they go, okay, I'm broke. Well, this is nice. So it's one of those things. So what's your true motivation, Lynn? What's the thing that fires you up every day so that you turn up?
Well, I'm passionate about the product, which, you know, the personal development product line, and it just really makes me feel good. So that's the motivation, is just feeling good and doing what you love. Yeah,
I agree. I get happy every day knowing that, even this morning when I had to go out and shift all the pipes, I don't know why I got drawn out. It's the coldest day we've had up here. I think it got down to about 13.
Oh my God.
And I had to put a pair of boots on. How's that? But hell, I didn't bring a jumper today. This is a bit rare. But yeah, I still had all the information plugging away in my head at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's just that little bit of my little power plan for myself to set myself up for the day. That first hour is mine. There's nothing else goes in there other than positive information, and it keeps me directed. That's why I like it as well. So what's your big game picture, Lynn? What do you want to achieve?
Well, I love helping people, so I want to help as many people as I can, and make a great income and just keep loving what I'm doing. I think that's the key to a happy life is we spend so much of our time working, and I've been in a miserable industry for 35 years. My husband is still stuck there. But I thought it would be better if half of us was happy. So yeah, that's and I want to help him out too. I want to be able to take that pressure off him, because the compensation plan is so great. You know, once you get rocking and rolling, there's no problem with the money that you can earn.
No, totally agree. Totally agree. Okay, Anthea, your turn now. What were your 3 biggest fears?
You know, I think the biggest fear I had was the fear of regret. I did not want to not try to do this business because I loved it so much. And if I didn't do it, I would regret it. So I didn't want to not try. The business model was amazing. And all I could see was a vision of a different lifestyle. Watching it, even Rachel and Shane, they just make it so beautiful. And I can see myself doing something like that, which meant that, you know what, if I don't try, I won't know. And I wanted to know for myself. So if I didn't give it a go, then I wouldn't know. So that was probably the main one for me. The other one was I didn't want to waste our savings.
Yeah.
But, you know, because you do have to invest in time as well. But in saying that, I think that the other the other fear that I had was I didn't want to hear my husband say that I've wasted our savings. So, I mean, that's a motivation for me, really. This is me from now on, trying to, one, be successful in this business because I see my vision. 2, because I don't want to regret not trying to get to my vision. And 3, I want to show my husband that I can use that money to be successful and get us to where we want to be. So
okay, no, they're good. They're good.
Yeah.
So what was the biggest rumour you had to overcome?
Oh, the scamming. For some reason, you know, everyone I spoke to about it was, oh, it's a scam, it's a scam. But the thing is, they never saw the business presentation. So for me, I was looking at them like, how can you even make a judgment on that if you haven't seen the presentation?
Yeah.
That's right.
So for me, I just I blocked them all out of my mind, and just, yeah, cool, that's great, that's fine. If that's what you believe, that's cool, and I would just keep going on my path. So that was me. Yeah.
And I think I know the answer to this one, but I'll ask you anyway. What's your core message for people in your business?
I think the message for me is I really believe you need to strive for what you really want, because you won't get what you want if you don't try. And you do. I tell my son all the time, if you really want something, you have to strive to get that. Otherwise, it's just not gonna land on your plate. Mum's not gonna buy it for you. You need to try it and get it for yourself. So that's generally I follow my own directions to my son, and that seems to work for me. So I just keep striving. Okay. Yeah.
And why did you choose personal development as an industry?
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know what personal development was, to be honest, to start off with. Like, in its entirety, I did not know that it was all about this. And since I've been doing the BFE and even the 17-day personal development, I am a totally different person. I can't believe the things that I think now. I believe in me. I believe what I can do. And that's amazing, because that helps me to motivate me, not only me, my children, my family, even my husband's doing well in his business just because I motivate him. And I love that. That means I'm inspiring people. And that is probably one of my greatest things that I want to do in this business, outside of me trying to succeed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fabulous.
That is really good, because it is, I mean, we had to go out to something yesterday, and holy frost, they were the most negative bunch of Nellies. And we were like traffic cops, Trish and I, we were positive road. And this bloke got to the point and said, why do you want to be positive? I said, well, because you're too bloody miserable being negative, so go this road. You know, but it was really interesting. They all wanted to have a fight. They all worked for different organisations, and they all wanted to have a fight. And I thought, oh, this is going to be a long 3 hours if I have to tolerate it. So I just kept changing it. And it got to the point where towards the end of it, they were saying, why do you just focus on the positive? I said, well, what else is there to focus on? You can't get an answer out of negative.
Right.
You only get frustrated. So it's become this, don't what someone said the other day, don't get that happy mob over there because they upset our stories. It's us, we don't have to go at all. But, okay, so what was your greatest paradigm shift here?
For me, I actually live and breathe this business at the moment. I wake up in the morning and I have a ritual where I do visualization, I do meditation, I have a glass of water, something as simple as I have a glass of water and rehydrate. And then I sit down and I plan out what I'm going to do for my business. And I'm doing this without my screens because I think my screen takes away from me my vision and all the things that it distracts me. So for me, I want to have a clear picture of what I want to do for my day and set it out properly. So I brush my teeth with my left hand just to get my brain working in the morning, and it's amazing. I make my bed in the morning. I never used to do that. So, and I really, really enjoy it. And I do that all in preparation for me wanting to be the best that I can be and do as much as I can with the faculties that I have. So I'm just trying to get the best out of everything. And so that's me. I've changed. I'm a changed person. And I love me as a changed person. I'm positive, I'm motivated, and I'm surrounded by, thanks Pete and Lynn, you guys motivate me so much as well, and everyone else on the team. I love listening to Shane, and I love listening to being on the training calls every day. I'm a different person and I love it.
Yeah,
love it.
You're the same as us. I think Glenn and I look at you as this new person who's come in that's got all this energy, and we're going, oh, we're going to have to keep up with her. And it's kind of good because you think, oh, maybe I've been a bit slack here, And it's the same as Chad couldn't get on the call, and he's been giving me a lot of grief over how well New Zealand's playing over there, and he's sent every report of all the things that happened and all the reasons that Wallabies went bad against the Irish. And I said, oh, geez. But he's sort of changed his way. He spent a lot of years flying in, flying out. And he fell into that I think it's the pyjama party syndrome, I call it, where they got all the colours and they just come to the airport and they go into that little bit of a shit, we got to fly out routine, and then, oh geez, we're here for 14 days, and oh geez, we're coming back. And then they sit on the couch for 10 days and go, wow, I don't have to do anything. And, and he said he fell into that where he just had no direction of where he was going, because I think he said he's lost 12 kilos just running in the morning. He just gets up at 4 o'clock now and just runs.
Oh, it's amazing.
2 hours, he said, it's been a long time since he was that weight, and he said, the first day I could only run 100 metres, and then he's just increased it. And he said, no, he said, it's a different way of thinking and it's a different way of acting life. And he asked me to put that for him today. The next question, bloody gizmo's fallen over. What was your biggest learning curve?
You know what? Running a business. I've never done this before. This is all brand new, not like Lynn or you. I've never run a business before. I've always kind of, followed the herd as such. So this is me doing something that no one else is doing. None of my friends are doing it. I don't know anyone else that runs a business in my circle of people that I live with. Hold on, my husband, he's a personal trainer. Let's ignore him. So for me, it's like going to uni again, but earning money instead of spending money, if you know what I mean. So the potentiality is humongous in comparison to going to uni, where you are constantly paying your fees and you're dragging yourself to classes and stuff. I don't have to drag myself anywhere. And I love that. That's me. I want this to be my whole life, and be my own boss and work my own hours and do my own time and schedule my time around all of this stuff that why didn't I know this earlier?
Yeah.
Like, for reals.
Yeah, isn't it? Doesn't it open your eyes up going, I think of all those years I was bent down with too much blood running to my head going, there must have been a better way to do it.
There must have been. And I'm glad I found it. I'm glad I found the business. Yeah, because that's cool.
Okay. Well, you've sort of given me those two. So what's your big game? Okay, what's your game picture, your overall plan? What do you want to achieve? Who do you want to help achieve? What is it that's going to take you to the next 100K monthly income earner?
Sure. So my big game is I really, really am going to strive to become successful in this business, because I see my dream of, earning money from home. I think about when the kids move out and it's just me and my husband and we're in retiring age. And I really love to travel. So for me, there are a lot of people surrounding me that don't have that vision. And I really want them to see what is capable, what you can achieve if you put your mind to it, which is why I get a little bit more personal on Instagram and Facebook, because this is me starting out. What am I going to look like in 2 years' time when I'm successful? And, whether they join me or follow me now, or they follow me in 2 years' time, they can always go back on the online world. Everyone sees Big Brother knows everything. They can always go back to now, 2 years from now, and go, wow, this is her journey from here to there. I want part of that. And I want to inspire those people that don't think they can do it, because I think anyone can do this business if you put your mind to it. If you want more, if you want the desire to be better or to have more, or just get more money to be able to provide for your family, that's great. For me, that's important.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think I'll just go through mine very quickly. My biggest fear was phone fear, talking to people.
Right.
Because I had a list of about 100 as to the reasons why they wouldn't be there on the phone. Before I even rang them, I would just sit there and go, righto, yeah, if it was Canada, they're probably on Smoko. So
now look at you, Pete.
and I just couldn't get it. The only way I got over it was by ringing a number that I knew wouldn't answer. And once I got the first call out of the way, just hang on a sec. Once I got the first call out of the way, it was all right. But if I didn't make that first call of the day, I then had this procrastination list that just grew bigger and bigger and bigger. And it could be right at 9 o'clock at night. Oh, look, I've missed them. They've gone to bed. And it just was that. And the thing that I had to overcome as well is any more people than 10, there was a crowd. Like a shearing shed was a big crowd for me.
Sure.
And if we went into anywhere there was about 50 people, well, I would just nearly find a hole and disappear under the floor so I wouldn't be seen until someone said, hey, what are we doing? And I'd, geez, I've got to go and tell someone something. So that was it was actually dealing with people, phone fear, and remembering what I should have been remembering. That was the other thing, because I thought, well, I'm no good at this. I had this self-talk saying I was no good at, I was good at handling stock and shearers who played up, but didn't have a lot of skills for anything else. Could ride rough horses, pull cattle down and train dogs. I didn't know how, and I wasn't good with people. And that were my fears. And I actually didn't have any rumours about the online world. I just thought, well, just imagine if it could work.
Some of the
stories were, well, someone's obviously done the bloody thing, you know.
Yeah.
So the reality was, if they can do it, surely I can work out how to do it eventually.
Sure.
I'd actually thought personal development had something to do with weights.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't think it was weights in the head.
Yeah.
But I realised then that I needed it more than ever. When I started this, and I didn't bring the little book, but we started with a little book. And I still remember it's the dearest bloody book I've ever bought. $2,200 for this little skinny book. But it was a book that completely changed my life. It just gave me a completely new direction on how to understand where I wanted to go, why I wanted to go there, and the meaning of me. And that's really what I went looking for. My biggest paradigm shift was that all this stuff is learnable. If you find a principle and learn it, you can apply it, anyone can do it.
Yeah.
It's the biggest shift. I remember sitting down one day, a bit like Paul Wheeler did one day. We're going through the Master of Destinies program. And I got to the end of must have been the end of departure, and there was some set of lines that said there's no reason that you can't do it, you just got to learn it. And I thought, holy crap, I've got to go and learn this now.
Yeah.
There's no real out here. No one can really fail unless you're a sook and you run away yourself. And I thought, holy hell, now I am accountable. I have to learn it. So that was the shift for me, was that anyone, doesn't matter what background, where you've come from, all the dramas that you have in your life, anyone can achieve this goal if you want it. And it's a bit like you were saying, Anthea, and Lynn was saying, if you want this, yep, you've got to switch a few things around, change a few things up.
Sure.
Some of your beliefs, can't kick them away because they haven't worked.
Yeah.
And if you've got, what I call a family feud happening, which happens in my place, where they can't understand it, they don't want to understand it.
Yeah.
And then even when you start earning money, this is the latest thing, well, it won't stay there for too much longer.
Yeah. They're in denial.
Yes, but we're getting more people in the team, more people, more growth.
Yeah.
It has to keep going up. Oh no, you watch it. At the very inopportune time, it'll end.
Sure.
Okay, right, fair enough. And you've got to let them go and say, well, okay, you think like that. That's fine. There's no problem. Got to get a pad that stays on. I reckon my show. My biggest learning curve was getting over myself and getting over those past business. When you're a business owner, you think you know everything and you think you're brilliant. And you have all the home business, you have all the small business talks. Only I can do it because I'm only the smarty bum. And really, you're just full of it. And that's what I had to get over was, you know what, I still remember, and you might remember this lady, she was from Perth too, Belinda
Byfield.
Yeah, and she could not even send an email.
I know.
And you'd boo to a goose, she'd be gone up a tree like a wild cat, Poof. And then she was earning $30,000-$40,000 a month before I was, not going, what the hell is going on here? She shouldn't be able to do that. But she just got over, and I still remember one of her chats, because she was a bit of a social media queen too. And she said, no, I just removed everything out and thought, no, I'm just going to keep pushing forward. And I thought, God, I've got to learn from someone who's not a business owner. How wrong is this,
Yeah.
Then you learn to pull all that. And then we had to go out yesterday or the day before to one of our friends who owns a coffee shop. And all I could hear was her small business talk. And I'm going, oh, I'm so glad I've moved past that.
Yeah.
You can see how much you grow in this business, and that's probably that's the thing that motivates me. Is you go, oh, I used to be like that,
Yeah.
My big game is to give people what they want, so I can have what I want, and it's the same as our wool stuff that's happening over in Europe. We set up the same affiliate program that we use here, basically. We gave it to them over there, and we've got about 40,000 people that are marketing our wool online over there. And I think the greatest change in my attitude is how much they want to market it because they love the product. And I think when you can see other people move forward, you get more out of what your business is. And I never ever experienced that. I've experienced it in the last 6 months here with the new people that we've got started here. You feel that energy, and I think Lynn will probably say, I'll let Lynn have a chat in a sec. You feel that and you think, wow, we've got a bunch here that we're going to keep up with, even though you're a lot younger than us. We're going to bloody give you a run for your money. And I think that's what propels people through. And that's why I've said to this team, make sure you join together as a team, because this is a network marketing team. You're going to have days where things are going to be a bit annoying and, you know, someone will upset you and all the other bits and pieces. But the reality is it's a team effort. And when you can help each other, support each other, moving a business along, there's a lot more fun in it. So that's the big learning curve that I had, and that's the big picture that I sort of want to present.
Sure. And keeping it fun.
I think so. Well, I've just found out we have 2 minutes and 33 seconds left.
Awesome.
What that is. Obviously, I've missed something in the reading. So much for 60 minutes. Anyway,
cool.
So let's do a final wrap up. Tell me, talk to your people and why they should come and visit you and check you out online. You've got a minute. Go, Anthea.
Oh, speaking of the Dung report, actually, I've sent those off to my people on the fence and people getting started. And I have already got positive replies back from that. And I'm very, very happy about that. Yeah, that's really good. People are just replying saying, hey, that's cool, thanks. I'll take a look at it. That's awesome. You know? And that's a win for me. That's a win for us. I really think if you can touch someone just by, you know, sharing, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a big hit. What's your opinion, Lynn, there?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I totally agree with that. It's all about sharing and showing up. People are looking for you, they'll find you. It's just the allure of attraction, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think one of the things that we want this little chat to do, and I think it's quite good, I'll end up working out how to cut this all up into pieces and send it through to you. And send the whole lot through so you can use it and for your own marketing. But people are actually going to see that we're just normal people. There's nothing really special, and we just have a bigger dream. Now, we're going to have to put a close there because this 2 minutes just gone down 30 seconds. Just yell out your website. How can people find you quickly?
Lifestyle Happy Place.
Living in Focus.
PentonLifestyle.com. So thank you both for being on the call today. I will be talking to you as soon as possible and see what happens. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Lynn.